After having the greatest rookie season in NFL history, Nick Sabaka was disappointed with his second season in the league. He only caught a measly 24 interceptions, and after leading the Lions on a miracle playoff run, barely fell short in the NFC Championship game against the Eagles. Even though his team finished the season strong, Nick was sick of playing for the Lions and decided to demand a trade. And it would only make sense that the team that picked him up was the Ravens, his father's old team, who offered him a record-breaking contract. So Nick will finally have an elite offense to support him, and this year he will stop at nothing short of a Super Bowl. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Let's get it, boys. It's time for Nick Jr.'s first game with his dad's old team, and he's gonna start this out by baiting up the corner route and getting the pick. A beautiful way to open up the season. This is gonna be something special. Nick is finally on a team with an offense, and it looks like his teammates in general are gonna give him a lot more help this season. Marlon Humphrey picking it off and cribbing it. We're out 21-0. We are just dunking on the Steelers quarterback to start this game, and it's gonna continue here. We bait up the curl route, and man, we really can't get up out of there for the pick six. That would have been a crib call for Nick in college. Still a beautiful play. There honestly hasn't been a lot of action for Nick other than the interceptions in this game, but he is going to get his first hit stick of the season here. This game was looking like it was going to turn into a blowout though, and the Steelers are kind of getting back in it, cutting it to a one-score lead with just a couple of minutes left. So this defense might have more problems than I thought. Let's see if offense can kill the clock, man. They can. Let's go. So a good start to the season. Definitely could have been a bigger margin of victory, but Nick had a real nice game, played lockdown coverage all day and 2 interceptions. So after starting out the season 1-0, we got the Browns, who for some reason are still holding on to Deshaun Watson. And offense once again started out hot, but the Browns are going to pick up this first down. Nick was just late on the curl route, and not making the tackle there too is annoying. These guys are just moving it slow and steady down the field. Got a third down here down on the goal line. Need to box up as we're in man coverage, and Watson will take the sack. Okay. Holding the Browns to a field goal there is definitely big, but they do have a chance to score before halftime. And once again, we see a nice little hit from Nick. He's actually going to get tested again, but Watson just misses the receiver, and Nick celebrating like he actually covered that. Still trying to bait up a streak route or something, but we're going to see a little out route here. Nick is on it, but can't hop for that, really. I thought that was 100% going back to the house. So Nick missing a couple opportunities in the first half, and we might be in trouble, dude. The Browns offense really is not looking bad. They finally get into the end zone. Thankfully, offense answers the call, and Nick once again in man coverage here is going to run this receiver's route for him, but man, number 32 stealing Nick's pick. That's Marcus Williams. We'll take the turnover though. Offense needs to turn this into points. Offense gets a touchdown, and now we're heading into the fourth quarter looking nice. But I'm still waiting on that first pick. We got to get aggressive here. I know the situation doesn't really call for it, but it is going to pay off. Nick getting his first streak pick of the year. Kind of surprised Watson threw that when he did, but we'll take it. This game's pretty much over. We're just playing for stats, and for some reason Watson's gonna throw it right at Nick again. What are you doing? This should be Nick's first pick six. We're trying to take it down the sideline, but Watson's really gonna catch us there. For some reason Nick has been feeling kind of slow. Is it possible that Nick has lost a step only 3 years into his career? I didn't think that I would ever say that. Hopefully we get another chance though, and another out route here. Give me number 3 of the day. This one's also not gonna be a pick six, but that feels good. Nick is really looking like he stepped it up from last season, and that'll do it. We end up making this one look pretty. Really good way to get the numbers going. I'm hoping we can start taking these picks to the house though. Next up is the 0-2 Chargers, but I'm expecting a tougher game here sooner or later. The Chargers seem to be a more run heavy offense, but we're doing a pretty good job of dealing with it so far. An offense able to get their first touchdown. It took them a little bit longer than normal, but overall they have been damn good. Gotta make sure we give them a hand here before halftime, but Nick is gonna get hit with the back shoulder throw, his biggest weakness. So hard to pick those off when you can't really see the trajectory of the ball, and this is going to turn into a touchdown for the Chargers. We're going to head into halftime down by 3, but to start the half, Marlon Humphrey going to get the pick. Humphrey might be the most worthy teammate to play alongside Nick Jr. so far. That'll give us a nice little lead, and man, I really want to pick here. We're trying to bait it up, but I might have baited it up too much, dude. Was not expecting a perfect floater, and Nick is just barely going to get beat on this. It was not the time to get risky, and the Chargers get a huge touchdown. We saw Nick getting beat for touchdowns more last season than he has in his entire career. I was really hoping we were going to leave that in the past, and now the Chargers have a chance to run the clock out and win the game. We got to find a way to make it play. It kind of looks like they're just going to run it here. I should have taken my timeout earlier. I'm just hoping they pass it here on 3rd and 5, but no, they run it to the left side and get a wide open lane. We're going to have to rely on a missed field goal, and Nick coming off the field, but somehow we wind up in overtime overtime. Let's go. Nick was insanely clutch in overtime games last year, and he's gonna clutch up here, coming up with a big third down tackle. And the Chargers gonna try to drill a 57-yard field goal here. Please miss this, dude. It is going to go through. So it's up to the offense, and offense is okay, going to get a field goal of their own. We might be headed to a tie here, fellas. It does look like the Chargers are gonna try to pass it, and man, I saw that coming. We got to play it safe though. With one timeout left, I don't think it's possible for them to get in field goal range unless they just throw like a quick dime to the sideline. And yeah, they're going Hail Mary here. Come on, man. I would love to find a way to lurk something up in this situation, but quarterback's just going to take off, and it looks like the Chargers are going to accept the tie. Not the ideal result, man, and Nick has got to feel bad that that happened, but given the circumstances, we'll take it. One of the worst games of Nick's career though. The good news is we're still undefeated going into a game against the Colts, and they are going to try Nick on the first play on the post route. What are you doing, Anthony Richardson? But he did not get the memo, and Nick is going to start out this game beautifully, trying to make up for his mistakes last game. And offense is playing well. We got a nice lead before halftime, but the Colts have us scorched here. Looked like Humphrey tripped on the other side, and this is going to turn into a free touchdown. Come on, man. It feels like Nick needs to make another play in the second half, and he's going to make a nice little tackle for loss here. Sitting down Jonathan Taylor like it's nothing there, but the Colts run game has been pretty solid, and looks like they're going to pick up a first down on this one. Nick will collect another tackle though. Just need to take advantage when they do pass it, and looks like this is going to be a play action. It'll be exactly the same as the first drive. For some reason, Richardson just decides to throw it right to Nick again, and this time he's going to get a chance to return. This won't be a crib call. These offensive players have been taking good angles this season, but still a big play. Need something out of our offense now, and they're actually able to get 8 points. Just beautiful. And defense is going to pick up a stop on third down, so a chance to potentially put the game away here for offense. And Lamar and the boys get it done. Let's go. And that's going to do it for this one. A great bounce back game for Nick and the Ravens, as Nick finished with a nice 2 picks. Good tackling game as well. Next up is the Bengals, who are actually sitting at 4-0, and Joe Burrow is going to try Nick out the gates here. He is just able to swat it away from Chase. So honestly, a nice play in man coverage given the situation, and Chase running a curl here. Nick lurked it up for the pick. Man, that would have been back to the crib. Some rare bad hands from our guy there. For some reason, we didn't get credited with any deflections, and man, Nick's teammate gonna drop a potential pick 6 too. Joe Burrow is getting bailed out, and looked like he was maybe gonna test Nick again there. Instead, he's going to take off and has nothing but green grass in front of him. I don't know where everybody's at, but Burrow's gonna slide down after like a 30-yard gain. So Cincinnati has a chance to take the lead before halftime, but Burrow gonna test Nick again, and this time he comes down with it. Let's take this back to the bank, man. Nick still doesn't have a pick 6 yet on the year, and once again, a quarterback gets an angle on him. Why are these quarterbacks so good at tackling this year? But after that, we got a nice little offensive explosion. 2-score lead headed into the fourth quarter, and we get the stop. The game's not quite over yet though, and we're running press man here, and Burrow just slicing it up. We did not need a quick score like this. Hopefully we can stall the Bengals a little bit on 1st and goal, and trying to bait something up. They got a man wide open. Hopefully offense can just kill the clock. And weirdly, the Bengals are actually going to go for 2 here, and I was not ready for the out route and man coverage, so this could get pretty interesting. Come on, boys. They are going to leave 37 seconds on. Suddenly I'm kicking myself for that 2-point conversion. That could be big, but just going over the middle here, that's going to kill a ton of time. The CPU is so dumb with clock management. And on 1st down, Burrow is going to take a sack, and I guess that's going to do it. Got a little bit interesting at the end, but we get out with a big divisional dub, moving to 4-0-1. And Nick with another really nice game, had the big pick and 2 deflections. Next up, we got the Cowboys, and Nick is going head to head with this really weird looking receiver who we faced last year and sits him down. The Cowboys are driving it though, and they got it down on the goal line. Daki's gonna run a QB blast, and we stop it short, but Nick's getting taken off the field for some reason. The Cowboys do score, but offense answering with a touchdown anyways. And Nick is gonna start out this drive by getting fried up by this tiny guy. That's just bad coverage by me. Gotta love the hit sticks though. Basically every tackle from Nick is a hit stick at this point. Cowboys are starting to go backwards though. They definitely don't have enough time before half, so we head to halftime looking pretty good, 14-7. We might be on our way to a 5-0-1 start. This game's been fun and all, but I'm trying to get a pick before we get out of here, and I was baiting it up heavy there. Turned out to just be a screen, and this one's gotten a little bit sleepy. Offense isn't quite able to put it away right now though, so we got to box up on this last drive. Cowboys already starting to move the ball. For whatever reason, once it gets down under the 2-minute warning, teams kind of start going crazy. So we got to play careful in this situation. Dallas is being patient, just dinking and dunking. We got to find a way to force a mistake for Dak, and he's going to the other side here, and Marlon Humphrey is going to get the pick. And that should hopefully bag this up. Humphrey again showing that he's a worthy teammate for Nick. It's pretty tough for opposing quarterbacks to go to either side of the field. So another dub. This one was pretty boring on Nick's part. Didn't really put up any stats, but we will take it off to a 5-0 start. Nick looks pretty happy. To be honest, 8 interceptions through 6 games is not great numbers for Nick, so we got to try to pump those up today. Unfortunately, the Jaguars are mostly a run-heavy offense, so that might be kind of tough. And the Jags are driving the ball right down the field as we've got everything boxed up in man coverage, but Lawrence taken off and there is nobody to stop him. It looks like this might end up being a tricky game. And offense turns the ball over as Jags go into the air here, and we baited up the out route, but baited it up just a little bit too much. Just a couple of steps could be the difference between a pick 6 and a touchdown. Defense is struggling in this one, but Lawrence going to the other side here, and dude, Humphrey is just balling out. He's got like almost as many picks as Nick at this point. Pretty sure that puts him at 4 or 5 on the season. That's a big one, but now we need Nick to make a play, and this defense just continuing to get sliced up for the most part. The Jags might be the toughest offense we've faced. And Nick, manned up once again, is once again gonna get toasted on the out route. That was just a trash user by me, and this is gonna be a crib call. This is one of Nick's worst games at this point. And honestly, I think you could consider this overall like one of his worst seasons. It seems like something is just not quite right. And offense tied it up, but dude, we just cannot stop this Jaguars offense. Trevor Lawrence is looking like a god right now. And that's gonna take us down to the 2-minute warning. The Jaguars have a chance to run out the clock at this point, and Nick laying down the big hit, and we'll have to take a timeout. Seems like they probably won't pass it here. And running the ball, dude, Nick gets blocked. This is a horrible game. We're probably gonna need him to miss a field goal at this point, and we are gonna get the tackle on 3rd down, but we have no way to stop the clock. Gotta just click the button, and oh my god, dude, we get bailed out. Somehow they don't score. All right, Nick, we've somehow found our way into overtime again. Go make a redemption play. And Nick's man is running a wheel route, and he will do it. Let's go. After a game of getting scorched, Nick baited it up perfectly, and now offense has a chance to win it. We might be headed to 7-0. And if there was ever a doubt, offense gets it done. Nick looks pretty hyped up. And Nick had a really bad game, but he came through when it counted. The stats are still looking kind of mid headed into the next game. So we move on to the Patriots, and despite the lackluster season from Nick, his team is having great success, sitting at 6-0-1. Nick might be getting a free ride to his first Super Bowl. And honestly, man, he deserves it. He's been trying to carry mid teams for a while. I mean, he started his college career at Tulane as a 4-star recruit. And after the stop, we got New England pinned down at the 1, and going to the other side. Oh my god, man, Marlon Humphrey is just getting all the throws right now. That puts us in great position, and looking back at the replay, he was really just standing there. I don't know what the quarterback was looking at. We'll take what we can get, man. We're in a pretty good spot headed into halftime, and on 3rd down, Nick is going to lay down a huge hit. Still can't get that forced fumble. I'm going to complain about it every time. And we got the lead, but this game has stayed tighter than I'd like, as for some reason they decided to run a screen to Nick's side. Wonder if he still would have thrown that if we jumped it a little bit faster. Still waiting on that first pick from Nick. The stats have been so dry, and Drake May is finally gonna try him. There we go, dude. Now we just gotta go get some more. I want a 2 or 3 pick game. That pick pretty much locked this game up, and Nick just playing some man coverage here is going to come off of his man, and this is one of the cleanest picks of his career. We are not quite gonna be able to stay in bounds, but that's pretty nice. All right, I'm satisfied with that game. Nice little bounce back for Nick after a rough one. Anytime we get 2 picks, I'll take it. 2+ pick games is what we're looking for. Let's keep it moving. Next up is the Bengals, whose season has kind of fallen apart since we played them. Hopefully we can get some picks off of Joe B today. Bengals are driving a little bit here, but Joe Burrow going to the end zone, and Roquan Smith is going to pick it off. This is actually his 2nd of the game. I forgot to hit record for the first part, but yeah, Nick's teammates continuing to go crazy. Nick's got to go get one of his own. I'm going to bait up heavy here starting out the second half, and that is going to work out perfectly. And Nick still doesn't have a pick 6 on the season. I'm going to try to take this. We're going to do our cut in and cut out move, but these quarterbacks just keep hawking him down. I really think the boy has lost a step, I'm not going to lie. And And we got a 2-score lead. Now the Bengals are really going to have to sling it, but running it here and sit down. Bengals are driving it here, but they're taking way too much time. I think we should be okay. Let's go get a red zone stop anyway, though. And here on first down, Nick in man coverage, but basically covering the whole side of the field. Burrow will have to go up top, and I think that's the, what, 4th pick of the day for the defense. Joe is not looking like an MVP right now. And offense killing the entire clock, so sadly we don't get another chance at a pick. But still a very nice game for Nick. Played lockup coverage. I'm honestly really surprised that we're 8-0-1 at this point. Wins have been so hard to come by in Nick's career. This game's been pretty slow moving so far. Steelers are burning a lot of clock just running the ball. It's actually crazy how Nick can sit down a guy like Najee Harris like that. As the Steelers are going back to the air here, Nick got a stupid illegal contact penalty, and it's not gonna matter. It'll be a touchdown to the other side of the field. Offense continues to be elite though, and Nick is gonna get his first chance at a pick here, but his teammate swats it away. Come on, dude. With just under 2 minutes left, Pittsburgh will have to go 97 yards to try to tie the game. And going to the outside here, Nick's all over it. I would love if we could just go ahead and shut this thing down right here, and Nick guarding the post, and Hamilton will get the interception. That should do it for this one unless offense scores quick. And just like that, 9-0-1 on the season. I'm still mad we allowed ourselves to tie that one game, as Nick got denied of his only chance at an interception, sadly. Sitting at 9-0-1, we're taking on the Saints, and Nick in the flat is going to bait up the corner route, and this could finally be a pick six. Nick is going to take this to the crib for one of his best plays of the season. Let's go. And I didn't even realize the Saints quarterback is Spencer Rattler. That's pretty funny. We're going to dog him today. Mix in man coverage here on third down, and we're going to get a streak route. We got to bait this up, and Rattler is going to throw it up deep, put some air under it, but Nick catches up. And we got a little chance to return. I don't think we can crib this, but let's get out of here and give offense a chance at a good drive. Almost got around that last guy too. And this game could potentially turn into a blowout. I don't want to stop at 2 picks. Nick's man's running a hitch here. Let's see if we can bait this up. Just going back and forth. Rattler actually does throw it. Can't quite get in there in time though. And oh man, he's going to go to the flat here. Was really not expecting to throw. This guy just has no fear at all of Nick, and almost threw a pick to Humphrey on third down. But the Saints drive continues, and this time Rattler's got a guy wide open, so they're kind of back in the game. But offense goes and get a tutty. We're looking pretty good coming out of halftime, boys. Still waiting for that third pick, and Rattler is actually going to throw the hitch again. We got to get that one eventually. This game's not quite over yet. The Saints have shown a little ability to move the ball, and Rattler's going to go over top here. That guy actually kind of ended up in Nick's zone, and they will go ahead and get a touchdown. But wow, offense actually kills the clock. I guess we'll take it. Nice little game for Nick. 2 picks, including a huge pick six. Just 6 more games left to try to lock down the #1 seed in the playoffs. The Titans are pretty low overall, coming in at only 83, but they are having a pretty good season, so we can't necessarily sleep on them. And Tennessee running a little play action here. Was hoping he'd throw the flats. Instead, he's going to go deep, and looks like the Titans have a guy, and they're going to take the lead with a touchdown. Offense is doing their thing, but for some reason, we just have not been able to stop the Titans on offense. They're driving the ball right back down the field before half, but Levis going to get flushed from the pocket here and will get sacked. Thank you. Okay, big 3rd and 21. Just can't give up anything stupid here. You know, I'm still trying to bait it up, but Levis is just going to dump it off. This game has turned into a shootout coming out of halftime, and dude, I think we might have to give up on the cover 2 in this one, because our safety is going to get fried again. It'll be another long Titans touchdown, but once again, offense getting a touchdown. This 3rd and 4 could potentially decide the game, but Levis has literally all day in the pocket and is going to go up top again. We're making Will Levis look like the greatest quarterback of all time right now. We're going to need a miracle to pull this one out. Gonna have to use our timeouts. We'll see if they throw it on 3rd and 5. I guess this is just going to be another run, and that's exactly what we get. Good tackle though. Okay, offense, you got like 46 seconds. We'll see what happens with the sim here. Nope, man, we're going to take our first loss of the season. Offense put up a fight, but defense just was not up to the task, as Levis sliced up our defense without really having to try Nick a single time. And after the loss, we've actually lost out on the #1 seed to the Chiefs, who are 11-1 for the time being. Got to get back on track today against the Browns. If I recall correctly, the first time we played him, Nick had like 3 picks, and the Browns are driving it here, but we've got everything strapped up on 3rd down. Watson will just have to throw it out of the back of the end zone. I do just have a sneaking suspicion that these last few games are going to be a lot harder than most of the games we've played this season, and this one's not off to that great of a start. Trying to bait something up, but Watson just keeps on scrambling, and we're going to have to hit him in the open field. Nick will lay down the hit stick, but can't get a fumble. Looks like we're going to get some slants here, and they go to the other side. Humphrey is going to get the pick. Yes, sir. This defensive backfield is the best in the NFL. An offense gets a touchdown, but I want to see Nick make a play. And, oh, dude, I really thought he was going to throw that out route. Watson's got really happy feet in this game. And on third down, same thing. Nick's manned up against the wheel route, and he just takes off. And it looks like this one's going to be 7-6 heading into half. Offense gets another one, though. They have not slowed down. And we got a chance at a stop. For some reason, they're going 5 wide on 3rd and inches, and we get a nice little knockout. And just like that, we got a 15-point lead. Now we got to get aggressive and give me that. Nick finally getting his first of the day. And I'm hoping offense doesn't kill too much clock here. I want to have the chance to pad the stats a little bit, because as it stands, this is Nick's worst statistical season since his freshman year of college. And we're going to get our shot here, just under a minute left, and I'm trying to bait up that corner route, but Nick dives and gets beat. I think we just got to stick onto that closer instead of trying to bait it up, and the Browns are actually going to score a touchdown. So not really a great way to end the game, but a dub's a dub. I gotta say, with a few games left in the season, this year Nick isn't even on the MVP watch. But with the Chiefs apparently taking an L, we're back in the 1 seed for the playoffs. To get Nick's name back in the MVP watch, we're going to have to go crazy in these last few games, and baiting up Michael Penix here. Nick was honestly really far underneath that route. There have been times this season where a play like that has turned into a touchdown for the other team, but this time it works out. Nice little start to the game. We got a 6-0 lead, and Nick's trying to bait something up again here. Penix is getting out of the pocket and is going to launch the ball Nick's way. We're not in great position, but got hands on it. Nick just can't quite come down with a contested catch. Those throws where it goes behind the receiver are super hard because you can't really see where the ball's going, and Nick giving up the 3rd down too. I gotta lock in, dude. I've honestly just been playing bad coverage this season. A little bit more focus is all Nick needs. The Falcons have got this drive down to the goal line, surprisingly going play action here, and Penix just hooks it out of bounds. But Nick comes off the field on 3rd and goal. Okay, goal line defense held the Falcons to a field goal though. This is a really defensive game heading into halftime, and the Falcons have done just enough to keep the ball moving and kill some clock. Feels like we need another big play, boys. Falcons are mixing in the run, and Nick tries to help out and run support. And Atlanta going with a stretch play here. Nick is gonna string that out and all over it. Not quite a tackle for loss, but we'll take it. And we see some curls from the Falcons on 3rd down. Nick just played that a little bit too tight to bait it, and Penix is gonna take off. We've had some scrambly quarterbacks in these last few games. Need defense to clutch up a little bit, and just running the blitz here, we got him to 3rd and goal. Goal line defense has already come up pretty big once today, but the Falcons are going to the corner, and man, I was expecting an out route. We were playing too far underneath. I know that's kind of what's expected from Nick when he's in a hard flat, but he's got to read that and make a play. So we're leaving another game up to the offense, and this time they cannot do it. We can't blame them. It's going to take a miracle. We do at least still have timeouts left, so we'll get a chance at a punt return or something. There's definitely no way they pass the ball here. We're just going to try to play run defense, and Nick will make the tackle. It's going to be 4th and 1, but it probably won't matter. We'll see if we can get some sim magic. And yeah, we take the L. Nick once again is not showing the clutch gene right now. I just don't get it. These issues surely couldn't have anything to do with the user controlling him. So just a few games left. Nick is sitting at 16 interceptions. We've got Baker Mayfield today. I've had pretty good luck baiting him up in the past, and Nick is just gonna do it right here on the first drive, grabbing the out route, and this is gonna be a crib call. This feels good. Nick taunts the offensive lineman, and Loki got himself tackled, but it is still a pick 6. Thank God we didn't fumble. One thing I do miss from college, man, returning punts and kicks. I wish we could still do that. We haven't gotten a ton of chances to see Nick in the open field. I don't want to stop with that pick. We've had so many games where we've gotten a pick early and then just nothing coming our way after that. And Bucks are driving, but on 3rd down, Nick plays perfect coverage, and they just have to throw it over the middle. We'll get an easy stop. And offense already having a better game, getting a touchdown at the end of the first quarter. So that gives us a nice little cushion. Good thing about the Bucks is they're very pass heavy, so we should have a lot of chances at picks. So 3rd down here, Nick's got the flats, and for some reason Baker is gonna throw that. I just was not expecting that throw at all, and Nick's gonna barely be able to knock it out. We're just letting another one of these teams hang around. We've seen what can happen when you do that, and Nick's hitting down the running back again. Got a 3rd and 3. We gotta watch for that flat route again. No, instead they just run it, and dude has a huge hole. This has been a really good run support game from Nick. Not something that he's had a ton of chance to show, but laying another big hit. We're going back to the flats here, and this time we get a corner route, and Nick is on it. Give me that. Let's take this back, bro. Oh my God, Nick just hit the dirtiest spin of his career. I said I wanted to see more of him in the open field, and he is up out of there for his second pick six of the day. Easily the cleanest play he's made in the NFL so far, in my opinion. Can't be satisfied though. Need to go get a third for those stats, and we played the streak perfectly. Baker's just gonna chuck this up, and Nick covers that ground easily. This has probably been his best game of the season, really the best game he's had in a minute. And that's a nice boost to the MVP stats. Now I think we're up to 19 picks. Hopefully we keep it moving against the Panthers, and Nick continuing to hit hard. Next we're back up in the flat, and I see the corner route coming, trying to bait it up, but we just can't quite get that angle. I think the like sideways camera angle makes it kind of weird. Maybe that's just me making excuses though. Thought we were about to have us another pick six, and the Panthers motion a guy out. Oh my god, man, a busted man coverage, and we might be on upset alert here. That was way too easy. 2-score deficit is rough, and offense is not helping out as Carolina's going bomb here, and man, we really can't knock that out. That could potentially be the game. It all happened so fast, boys. Bryce Young got us. Still hoping for a miracle here. Maybe we can get some kind of forced fumble or something. I don't know. But it looks like the Panthers are actually going to pass it here on third down, and they of course pick it up. That will do it. So as bad as it gets, 0-pick game, our defense got dunked on, and we lose to the Panthers. The 1 seed might be out of reach now. Okay, it looks like the Chiefs are 13-3. We're 12-3-1. So if they lose and we win, we're still getting the number 1 seed. All right, final game of the regular season. Let's get it. We got to at least get to 20 picks today against CJ Stroud, and it does look like Houston's going to come out slinging the ball around. Obviously, this game is big in terms of getting our playoff seed, but since we don't know what's going to happen with the Chiefs, I'm going to focus on the individual accolades, I think. Not that there has really ever been a game in Nick's career where we haven't just gone for picks. The amount of crucial mistakes I've made trying to bait up deep balls just to get that one extra pick is actually crazy. It's cost us a few games for sure. Got a 3rd and 3 down near the goal line. This is a big play, and Stroud is just going to go down in the pocket. That was easy. This game has actually turned out to be kind of defensive so far, and dude is running a curl. Man, that should have been a pick six. We just couldn't get a good animation for some reason. So kind of a lame half. We're going to have to fight for that 20th pick, boys. Offense got a big touchdown though. We needed that. Just got to keep strapping up and we'll get one eventually. And Nick's dude running a weird route here, and Stroud is going to throw it. Nick gets his first pick of the day, getting a 20th on the season for the 3rd year in a row. Offense doesn't get it done though, and oh god, Houston slices up the cover too. That's an easy touchdown. And with 1 minute and 12 seconds left, we are clinging to a 3-point lead. Defense has got a clutch. We have not tended to be great in this situation, and man, Stroud just finds the seam perfectly. The Texans are almost already into field goal range. That's the problem with the cover 2, man. But going to the other side here, Marlon Humphrey is going to catch the game-winning pick. Nick's teammate has come up big again and again this season, and Stroud has just made some terrible throws in this game. So we close out the season with a big win. Hopefully the Chiefs lost their last game. Sadly, the Chiefs won their last game easily, so we got the number 2 seed. We will have to play in the wild card round. Nick finishes the season once again, leading the team in tackles by a pretty significant margin, and of course 20 interceptions. Marlon Humphrey had 7 interceptions himself. He balled out. Beating the same team twice in a row could be difficult, but that's what we're going to have to do in the first round here. And this is it, boys. No redos. If we lose, the video ends right here. We've already got a big 3rd and 5, and oh my god, CJ Stroud has all day in the pocket, but we will eventually get to him for the stop. And offense goes down to get a touchdown. Let's go. We're in a pretty good spot here in the 2nd quarter, but the Texans are putting a little bit of a drive together. Nick's got to stay on point, but so far they haven't really been throwing his way. This one has been pretty uneventful, headed down to the 2-minute warning. And here we go. We got a big time 3rd and 12, and Nick's just guarding the slant. It looked like Stroud wanted to throw it, but he takes the sack. That's a huge stop. I think we knocked him out of field goal range. And let's go. Offense is balling in the first half, and they get another touchdown coming out of half. And Nick is going to crack open the 3rd quarter by killing the Houston tight end. Actually insane strength there by Nick. And this might be the game right here. Houston's going for this 4th down and just running some in routes. That's a high throw from Stroud, and I think he was short. We're going to get the ball right back. This game is bagged up. We still got to go get Nick a pick though, and he will get it here. This won't count to the season stats, which kind of annoys me, but had to get at least one today. And that'll take us up out of here and into the 2nd round. A surprisingly easy game. So we got the Jags in the 2nd round. Offense has been on a tear, boys. All we got to do is support them, and Lawrence fumbling here. Let's see if we can pick this up. Nick, for some reason, just doesn't react, but we get it anyways. And that's a great start to this game. We got a 17-point lead headed into the 2nd half, and Trevor Lawrence, what are you doing? Throwing it directly to the the best cornerback in the league, and this is going to be an easy crib call. Nick, once again, maybe starting to taunt a little bit soon. Lawrence actually got the tackle in there, but that should possibly put this game away. The Jags have one last fourth down, and for whatever reason, they just decide to run it. That'll get us out of here. So the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, pretty breezy. All right, AFC Championship game. Here we go. Taking on Patrick Mahomes for the first time in Nick's career, I believe. And we got a little snow game. Okay. Kansas City already has good field position, but running the ball, and Nick sits down Pacheco. 3rd and 4. Let's see what we got. Expecting some kind of mesh here. No, they go corner routes. Nick probably wouldn't have been on that anyway, but that's tough. We got to deal with a pre-lit X-Factor Mahomes this game, and this time Nick does not read the run soon enough. Chiefs started out pretty good. After another stop, we got them backed up deep in their own territory, hoping to force a mistake. We'll see if they decide to pass it on 3rd and 7, and no, they handed off to the fullback, and he almost picked up the first down, but Nick came flying in, a big time stop. And that is an interesting celebration, Nick. What are you doing there, man? An offense turns that into a big time touchdown. I think this one's definitely going to have an interesting finish. As we're trying something a little bit different on defense, Nick is sitting in the cover 3 and has a step beat on him, but makes the recovery his first pick off of Mahomes, and we got some nice room for a return here. Low-key could turn into something. Not going to be a pick 6, but I hope offense can bank this. And they do, man. 7-point lead with 50 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. One more play from the defense could put us in a great spot, and we're going to get that here. Roquan Smith getting the pick. It looked like Mahomes just didn't see him, and I think the snow might be helping disguise us a little bit, fellas. Let's go. Now we just got to keep everything in front of us. The Chiefs are kind of taking their time here. As long as they're completing it inbounds, these are totally fine with me. Run more time off the clock, man. Big 3rd down, already going towards the 2-minute warning, and Nick's in a deep zone. Looks like his dude is going to run an in, so this is going to be a completion. That's okay though. We couldn't give up the deep ball. I've been experimenting with some cover 3, but we're going to go back to the man coverage, and works out beautifully there on 2nd down. Even if the Chiefs get a touchdown here, they only have 2 timeouts. We could potentially kill the clock. And on 3rd and 1, Nick's in the flats. Mahomes will go to the other side, and we're going to get a game sealing pick. Nick is headed to the Super Bowl for the first time in his career. Mahomes just has played terrible today. Nick didn't do anything crazy on the stat sheet, but really solid game. Just played good coverage, and they even gave him a sack. I don't know when that happened. And this is incredibly fitting. In the Super Bowl, Nick is taking on the team that knocked him out of the playoffs last year. Let's get it, man. I want to see a perfect game out of Nick. No mistakes here. But stopping this Eagles offense is definitely going to be tough. With them already in field goal range, need to come up big on this 3rd down. And going over the middle, we get the knockout. Yes, sir. Need offense to be on their game here, but they do not start it out well. Hurts has made an effort to stay away from Nick so far, but dumping it off to the flat here, we'll get our first tackle of the game. And just like that, we go to the 2nd quarter. This game is flying by, probably in part because the Eagles are running it with Barkley a lot. Gotta figure out a way to stop him, and Nick will fly into the backfield here and make the tackle for loss. He's getting aggressive. Gotta make sure we don't get burnt. And on 3rd down, not able to contain the jet touch pass. We should have gotten outside sooner. Alright, this has been kind of rough so far. Can't give up a touchdown here, but Nick playing strap up coverage against the corner route, and we finally get a sack. Offense is barely going to touch the ball in the first half, it looks like, as Hurts is taken off here. Got him behind the sticks, but they get the first down. Feels like a huge moment in this game already. And dude, Hurts is taken off again. We cannot stop this offense. The Eagles just keep marching down the field and going to the crosser with time running down. Oh my god, our guy got absolutely trucked. Pretty much worst case scenario to end the first half. They killed the entire clock too. I was not expecting offense to get blanked like this. We need to get aggressive here, and Nick trying to shoot into the backfield to get the safety, can't quite do it. I think we run commit at this point. I don't see a reason not to. And yeah, they're just going to the fullback. Okay, so 3rd and 4, big time play for field position, and looks like corner routes. Nick has got to box that up, but Hurts is taken off. We just have not been ready for the quarterback run. That's what's really killed us. At this point, Nick has got to find a way to come up with a pick 6 or something. And oh my god, dude, almost gets to the out route. Totally sold out for it, and instead it's going to be a huge gain. I was not expecting that route for some reason. And Nick slightly late to the flats there. That's tough. If we're going to get back in this game, it's probably going to be on a pick 6 in the flats. But okay, we get the tackle for loss. The Eagles have managed to run out the entire 3rd quarter though, and just flip the field. Come on, dude. This season can't end like this. They're going to go back to the air, and they have the seam. How do we not knock that out? Okay, at this point, they're probably just going to run it. If they do pass, they have to be on it, and I wanted to kill Barkley there. The chances are growing slimmer and slimmer, and they go to the corner here. Okay, this time we do get the knockout though. Come on, man, massive 3rd and 6. Let's see what we got. Barkley's motioning out, and Nick's man is gonna run a post. They go to the other side though, and Humphrey's cooked. We just cannot get off of the field. This has been so frustrating. But the Eagles are actually gonna throw the ball here, and this is a bizarre throw by Hurts. It will float out of the end zone. Weird. Okay, 3rd and inches. They could totally just run it here. No, they are gonna pass it. I don't know what to expect, and of course Hurts is just gonna take off again. This man has killed us 2 years in a row, and the Eagles probably just put the Super Bowl away. All these years, and Nick still can't seem to win a team a championship. He's had a beyond brutal time in the postseason. The defense is gonna get one more stop here, but probably won't matter. Looks like the Eagles are just going for it. No way, they're passing it here, right? Oh my god, they did pass it, and they've got a guy wide open. That was kind of a crazy call in that situation, but it's of course gonna work out perfectly, and that'll do it. Not how we wanted it to end, but I promised we weren't gonna rerun it. And the Eagles have kind of emerged as the enemy in this series at this point. And at the end of the year, Nick missed the MVP watch. We gotta do better next season, boys. I don't know if I gotta find a new strategy or something, but I'll see you then. Have a good one. Peace.